Relax.
So let the recording be on. This
Aditya, can you
recording is
share the screen actually? Because
hello, am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
Okay, so I guess recording has been started now.
Yes.
Let me share my screen again. Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. Today we are hosting a low code development and student watch party. So let me introduce myself first. Yeah. So hello everyone, myself Aditya Kumar. I am a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador and pursuing my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from CENTRAL University of Haryana. And today we have another speaker. Megha, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. This is Megha Pandey. I'm from Jharkhand, and I am the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, Gold Ambassador as well. And I'm the MVP as well for the year 2023 for Windows and Cider. And I'm from Jharkhand. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so let's move ahead. So, moving further, we have a challenge for you all guys. So, what you can do, just you can tag us on the socials. What you have to do, just you have to create a post, or you can what you can do that if you can just take a screenshot of the session during the event, and you have to just post on the LinkedIn, Twitter, on Instagram. We will be noticing each and everyone. You have to use these hashtags. We will be forwarding this hashtag in the chat box, and you can tag us. We will also share our social media accounts. So the person who will be sharing the post on the social media will be getting LinkedIn Premium. uh, the target is that he or she have to get more number of likes and comments on his or her post. Okay, so I think it is clear to everyone. And let me share these just a minute. Uh, I'm just sharing the hashtags and the socials. 1 minute. Okay, so this is the hashtag you can use in your post, and these are the socials. Make sure the only one person, yeah, in you can share it on LinkedIn or
You can share
Instagram
it
or
anywhere.
Twitter, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget to tag us as well so that we can figure out whether you have posted.
Yeah, we will be awarding this LinkedIn Premium at the last of the session. Okay, so let me share one more. Yeah. So you can tag us. I have already shared the my socials and mega socials. So you can just use the hashtags and let everyone know you are joining this session. So let's move ahead. So let's discuss the today's agenda. Firstly, we will be going through what is low code development, which will be taken by Megha Pandey. And after that, we will be going to student summit watch party. And then after, at last, we will be enjoying a quiz session. And we have rewards for each and every sessions that for the social event, I have already told that you will be getting LinkedIn Premium. For student summit watch party and for quiz, we will be having more rewards. I will be told you later in the upcoming session. So over to Megha now.
Thank you so much,
Hello.
Aditya, for a great introduction about the program and about the session which we are going to have. And again, let's get back to the introduction. It is about the local development. So, Aditya, so why we are using local development and why it is popular all around the world? The best part about the local development is that you don't have to use the word like coding. So you don't have to code anything, and everything is virtual. And you can have a web page, a website, or a mobile application just within minutes. You don't have to focus and you don't have to pay a lot of money to the developers because you can do the front end by yourself, and the developers have to worry about the database and the backend only. So this is a great advancement right in the world which we are facing. And these days, it is a bit more popular because I see a lot of students asking me, "Hey, how do you create these kinds of websites and web pages over here?" So, and the more interesting thing is that I don't know coding. I don't want to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or something like that to have a better way. So here is the better way. You can use local development platforms with its Power Apps, Power Automates. There are a number of things which we are going to explain in the future. That is the next. Okay, so what is local development? The simple definition is that the local development is the visual approach of creating software applications using the graphical user interface. The graphical user interface, everybody is aware about that. It is this screen that you can see, the graphical visualization or the designing part. Okay, and configuration instead of traditional programming languages. Absolutely, you don't have to focus on code of HTML, JavaScript, and a deep coding kind of thing, which actually creates the user interface of the program. Either you have to focus only on the backend side and you can give it everything, the UI to the person. Let's suppose you have, I can give you an example. Like you got a project with you and one of the developer students. Okay. You have to create a web page or maybe a mobile application for them. And you don't know coding. You really don't know a single bit about coding. So is it that you are not going to code anything, or you don't have to contribute into the coding part or something like that? No, it's not related to the same. What you can do is you can fully create the UI user interface by using the Power Automate apps. The Power apps have a number of facilities and a number of resources which you can grab and you can create your own UI so that the developer has to focus only on the backend side. Maybe it is a little bit more interesting to know that we can create an automated mail generated email or maybe like for creating any kind of stocks or a pie chart, everything in a single page. There are a number of applications related to Power Apps, and we are going to learn about them in the near future. Next time. Okay, we just have to look into the advantages and don't miss out on them. yeah, faster time to market because you don't have to focus on does not take so much of time, increase agility, yes, absolutely, and reduces the cost because you don't have to pay for that. Okay, so we will look into the Microsoft Power Apps. Well, Microsoft has a number of interesting things or the interesting resources which do every student can use, and you can make your things a little bit faster and easier to use. So I got a few of the things which I can maybe share with you. Aditya, would you allow me to share the screen?
Okay, okay, wait. Yeah, sure. Now I can go.
Alright, so as soon as you enter into the Windows 365 page, you will get a lot of things over here, whether it's calendar, Excel, and one, all of the things. I will go into the Power Automates. Okay, this is the kind of Power app which will help us to create a simple working flow kind of environment for us. Let's suppose I've actually opened it over here. These are a number of flows which I can use for anything. Like if I want to send an email to the respondent who submitted the email, then I can create a simple kind of workflow, a cloud workflow. There are a lot of things whether you can store data, you can monitor every other cloud activity or the activity which is going over here about related to your email respondent or everything. And this is the AI builder, which will help you to enhance what you really want to really want to create. Okay, so this is the home page. We have got a lot of things over here. Whether you can start up with any of the things. Uh, I will choose a simple one. Like let's suppose about sending the emails to the respondent because a lot of students who organize events, they do have a kind of query that how we are going to send emails to the bulk of students who have registered for our event. And every time when they register, they get an email, automated email by themselves. So you don't have to focus on these kind of things. It actually takes a lot of time sending emails to all of the people. So what you can do is sending emails to the can't see the computer over there. Maybe. Okay, let's get this one. Maybe we can use it over here. Okay, so this is about send form responses for approval. It can be used for anything like whether you want to approve anything, whether it is approved by like if you send an image to a person, like if you send an image to Aditya, which needs to be approved. So you can use this kind of flow, whether you have a Microsoft form. Once you fill the form, you will be directed to the approval pages, and the approval pages will detect the operation, the logical gate, whether you have to approve in this case or not. And once you're done, you can have it on the SharePoint and you can save it over there. So multiple of programs can be used, whether it's Office or PowerPoint or maybe the SharePoint. All of the documents can be used through that. So that I am searching for a different one, which I have to reach over here. Okay, no worries. I will use my the created ones. Okay, so it actually used two kinds of things. One was the Microsoft Forms, and the other was uh, Office 365. Okay, what I actually did is I created a flow regarding the same, but I wanted the students who have registered for the same program will get the information about the program and the calling with the help of it. Okay, this was the analysis or something like that, which were identified by the Power BI. This is a business tool which we can use for analyzing or usage or errors or any kind of thing. I think this is enough, and we will learn about something else about the same. Okay, so these are the Power platforms which we can use. The first one is Power BI. As I said, that the analytical related things are displayed over here, whether it's about Excel, the data set, the pie charts, and everything will be displayed with the help of Power BI if you use this kind of power on your automated things related to business models, whether you want to share the population of India and other countries in the recent year for any kind of project, this is the best application you can use. They are totally data driven. The second one is a Power App. So the Power App actually helps you to create a inbuilt application of mobile application on a phone with the help of some simple drag and drop data. What you can do is you can just upload things that you really want to show it in your data, and then you can create a user interface with the help of this. Just like you create in the PowerPoint or maybe you create in the words. That's as easy as that. The next is Power Pages. Now, a lot of people are confused how to get ready a website in within few minutes or maybe in one day. So this is the best page. You can have a local business application. You can have a website over there where each and everything is displayed, and you can have everything displayed right on the user side without worrying about the codes which are displayed in it. You can just drag anything. Like I want to have a header over here, so I will just drag a header and I will paste it. It is that easy as it shows. The second one is the Power Automate. Like as I said, the Power Automate is used to send multiple emails, whether you want to save a data on the drive. This is an automated platform where you can connect your forms, your Google form, with any. Or do you have a voice issue? Am I audible, Aditya?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
I think you have a network issue. You can just check it. If there is a if my voice is breaking, please let me know. Okay. So about the organization and about the form related things, we can use Power Automate. It automates all of your work right on the front end without you are worrying about the time and about the complexity actually uh, involved in this particular thing. Now this is a Power Virtual Agent, which will actually let you have a chat with an automated person, like the chat box. You can have any of the queries solved over here. Now you have seen these kinds of virtual agents in any of the websites these days because they are usually using these kinds of things, the chat bots and everything. All you need to have is a condition and a question over here. If the question is related to uh, the user query, they will have an answer right on top of it. So these are very, very easy to use, and hence we are calling this at Node for development. This application, go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Yeah, is my screen visible? Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, Aditya, you're audible.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, it's visible actually. I don't know if somebody faced a network issue maybe at that time. Your my voice would not be clear. Otherwise, I think it's clear, right, Aditya?
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
My screen is visible or not?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so let's move ahead. Uh, these all the power apps have been told by my Megha. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now it's time for doing some hands-on challenge which I have planned for you all guys. Before moving to that challenge, I will be showing you what reward you will be getting after doing that challenge. Okay, so these stickers. Okay, so these stickers you will be rewarded on. This is the pack of 28 stickers, and this will be delivered on your home address. Okay, so what you have to do, I will be giving a challenge to you all guys, and a completion form link will be in the chat box. You have to just complete that challenge and click a screenshot of that and just send that in the form. So let's move to the hands on the challenge. So what you all have to do, I think everyone has a laptop or a browser with a good internet connectivity. So what you can do, just go to the browser and type Microsoft Learn. Meanwhile, if you in between you have any problem, you can just ping me out in the chat box. Okay. So after typing at Microsoft Learn, you will be getting to this website. I have to just go to the learn.microsoft.com. Those students who have already an account on the Microsoft Learn, it's good. But those students who haven't an account on learn.microsoft.com can make them account from here. You have to click on just sign in and just make an account. Either you can connect your Microsoft account also. So just you have to sign in to the learn.microsoft. And okay, 1 minute. I will be sending you a link in a chat box. You have to just click that link to go on that. Wait. Yeah. So this is the Cloud Scale Challenge link, which you have to, you can just click out that link. And after making the Microsoft Learn account, you can just click that link. I'm already there. Yeah, it's good to, you are already there. You can click on this link I have shared in the chat box. Okay, so let me go on that link. Yeah, what all you guys have to do, you can just see the accelerate your tech career in the low code development, and the introduction of low code development and Microsoft Power App have been told by Omega very well. So in this is a cloud skill challenge for you all guys. For this, you will be rewarded a pack of 28 stickers on your home address. Okay, so the task is that those person will be completing this whole challenge in a very less time, that he or she will be awarded stickers, pack of stickers. Okay, so here you can see that in this task you will be seeing a modules. There are three modules in this, and after that you will be seeing another modules of UI control and documentation in Power Apps, and after that the Power Pages, and at last Dataverse for Microsoft Teams. So you have to complete this all the modules, and there is no such time limit. You can use your time after the session, or you can use the time in between the session, because after that I will be playing a watch party. What you can do that during the watch party, you can just open the tab of the watch party in another tab, and just you can do this challenge, and the person who will be completing this challenge in a less time will be awarded a pack of stickers. Okay, so one more thing you have to notice, that please do not complete only one module. Like that I will show you. If I click on this in this module, there will be opening a lesson. Okay, so this modules consist of 6 units. So you can see the 6 units. You have to complete each and every units. And let me show you one more. And like that, you have to complete every modules. There are three. From at last, you have to set up the Rust development environment. You have to complete each and every modules. Then after, you will be rewarded a pack of stickers. Let me show you how to complete it. Okay, these I will have done. So what you can do is just click on the module name, and from here you can just start the challenge. Okay, so for every challenge, for every unit, you will be awarded a 100 XP point on the Microsoft Learn. And one more thing I will be like to show you, that if you will be clicking on your profile, from here you can see, yeah, your profile is here. So for every module you will be getting one badge, and for every learning path you will be getting a trophy. So from here you can track your path. Okay, so let's move to our challenge here. Okay, so after completing this all paths, just you have to take a screenshot. And hi Aditya, I think you are too fast. Yeah, Aryan, only one student will get the pack of stickers. Those who will be completing the steps, completing this challenge at a very less time, that guy will be getting a pack of stickers. Okay, I think the task is clear to everyone. If anybody have any doubt, you can just ping me out. Meanwhile, I am sharing this skills cloud skill challenge form. Yeah, we have sent the link which comprises of all the modules. You can just click on this link. It's a cloud skill challenge link. And after completing that, you can just submit out there in the Google Forms cloud skill challenge submission form. Okay. So I think the task is clear to everyone. So let's move to our next topic, or next agenda of the event. Okay, so these are all stickers you will be getting. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, from here. Oh, so after that, let's start the watch party. Before starting the watch party, I would like to ask you guys that if you have any doubt regarding the cloud skill challenge, you can just ping me in the chat because the watch party will be playing on. So during the watch party, you can complete your cloud skill challenge. And after at in the last, we will be playing a quiz of a 10 questions. And the questions will be comprises of the modules and the workshop we have conducted till now. And don't forget to just tag on the social media accounts. And because the social challenge is still going on, so I think I'm ready to play that student summit watch party. Uh, Please confirm me the screen is visible
Varsha Das, and I'm an engineering
and the
Yes,
voice
it's
is audible.
visible. Yeah, the
Uh,
voice is audible as well. You can go ahead.
okay, okay, Alan.
student from the City of Joy, Kolkata, India.
My name is David Nyonguzoro, and I'm a Better Microsoft Learn Students Ambassador from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum. I am super excited to talk at Microsoft Student Summit this year. My name is Rizwan Rahman, and I'm the Microsoft MVP on Microsoft 365 development category.
Hi, I am Kundaicha Sinda and I stay in Zimbabwe.
Hello everyone, my name is Krishna Rachakonda. I live in Houston, Texas. I wish you the very best and welcome to Student Summit 2023.
My magical moment is when I share new technology with my clients and they get as excited about it as I do.
My magical moment is when I joined Microsoft Tech Club in my high school and saw my peers learning and innovating together.
I am very excited to connect with students in my community to learn from them and to help them to learn new technologies.
I am part of the Student Summit to inspire young professionals to become community stars.
The knowledge that's provided and the interest that comes from the new technologists that attend is very inspiring to me.
I'm looking forward for this year's Microsoft Student Summit to connect with other students who share the same goals as me.
I'm so excited about the Student Summit and the things that you all are going to learn and the connections that you're going to make.
Together, let's create a positive impact and be a force for good. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Namaste, Vanakkam, Salam, Sastrikal to everybody joining from different parts of the globe. Welcome to Microsoft Summit 2023. We're currently streaming live from India region. And I'm joined here with my co-host Kamal, who is a developer advocate at Microsoft. And I, your host for today, am Kashish Sharma, a Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador. Okay, so if you're joining us from a watch party, a hearty welcome to you. Make sure you are logged in from your own device so that you can keep an eye on the chat and save the links and resources that we share. Again, you can copy the link and paste it in your browser. And I hope you have your popcorns and cold drinks ready to sit with your friends and chill and enjoy the summit today. So before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. I'd advise you people to please be aware of others. Please be friendly and welcoming and respectful to others. Be open to all questions and please be active. We are all here to participate and learn together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, be kind and considerate in the way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage to participate and please be active with us, and we are very excited to be here. So again, Welcome everyone to Student Summit 2023. We have heard from many of you that you are excited about networking, technical learning, career advice, and exploring new tech like AI. Today we only have 90 minutes, though we'll touch on all of these things. You'll hear career advice from industry experts and have time to ask them questions. And equally as important, will help you continue to learn after even the Student Summit. Student Summit is not just a moment in time. This is a part of your journey. The goal of today is to inspire you. We'll discuss application development, developer tools, low code, no code, fusion development, and AI data and machine learning. So, with that being said, today's event is in conjunction with Microsoft Reactor and Microsoft Learn. So, Microsoft Reactor is our community space where we welcome you to come and learn and connect. Whether you join us online or in any physical space, it's a place for industry professionals. That's right, we are talking about you. To come together to explore industry leading ideas, exciting Microsoft technology, and open source communities. We offer a diverse mix of hands on workshops, expert panels, and community events. There's something for everyone. Whether you are looking to start or accelerate your career in technology, we are here. Okay, so that was all about the information that we have. And just to give you a heads up, what's next with Microsoft Reactor, we have some live Reactor events. And also from the link, you can find out about all our different program offerings, such as Microsoft Learn, where you can compete in your cloud skills challenges, Azure for students, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program, get certified, and so much more. So you can paste this link in your browser and you can have a look at all the events that are planned for your local reactors. Coming to the interesting part for today, what we have planned for you. So first is we're going to start with app dev and dev tools, which will be taken up by Tulika. Second, we have planned a no code, low code by Priyesh Wag. Again, closing this off, we have AI data science and machine learning, which will be taken up by Kasam. So I am super excited. How about you all? I'd love to know your feedback that we'll be sharing with you. So what you guys can do right now is scan the QR that is on the screen right now. Post up your questions and we'll be taking that in the last of the event. So we're super excited to take your questions. So take a moment, take a screenshot of this event or of the slide or take a picture and scan the QR or you can just paste the code provided here and let's get going with the questions. Let's start off with our first speaker for the summit, which is Tulika Chaudhary, who is a senior product manager at Microsoft. So over to you, Tulika.
Hi everyone, my name is Tulika and I work as a product manager for Linux App Service. My product is part of the developer division in Microsoft. We call it DevDiv. And the purpose of the developer division is to make sure that no matter what kind of programming language you're using, what kind of system you're using, Windows or Linux, we will enable you to work and collaborate in a seamless manner. So I've been with Microsoft for 18 years now, and I've moved through various roles. I joined Microsoft in 2004 as a support engineer. It wasn't exactly out of college. I'd worked for 1 year in HCL Technologies when I got this offer. And to be honest, when I joined, I felt, well, this is just a stepping stone. I'm just going to move on to something else. And the reason for that is, one, that I was joining as a support engineer. That was one part of it. And the second part of it is, in college, I was working on Java, and Microsoft at that time was specifically a .NET company. And I didn't know that if I could, cope with the technology difference. However, within the first few months, I was just hooked. There was so much in the company to learn. So not only did I learn .NET, but there was so many processes, so many ways of doing code, and that was just very exciting. So I stuck here for like 18 years now. And I moved through various roles. So I was a support engineer earlier. Then I was something called what we call an escalation engineer, which is basically, like a servicing engineer. Somebody opens a bug in a product. We try to investigate that bug, fix it. I finally moved on to being a software engineer. And now I am a product manager. In all these 18 years, I've always worked with app services. In fact, app services launched about 10 years ago, which was the first PaaS offering by Microsoft. And I was there right from day one. When we launched app services, the idea was that we would allow developers, and this was at that time basically .NET developers. We would allow .NET developers to maintain their productivity and just bring their code while we do the hosting for them. So that was the original game. And very soon we found our place in the market and we were making revenue because a lot of developers wanted to actually embrace the cloud, but they didn't want to worry about how do they deploy their code, the mechanisms that they use, or even things like updating the infrastructure to make sure that the code works. So we started with that, and this was at that time Linux and open source languages was something very new with Microsoft. We were just exploring, where do we go with this? And very soon, app services decided that we need to be part of the developer ecosystem. We need to embrace open source languages as well as Linux offerings. So now with app services, you can not just deploy your .NET code, but you can also write code in Python, Node, Go, Ruby, PHP, and you can host it on Windows if you want to, but you can also host it on various flavors of Linux if you want to. And as far as a developer, you don't need to worry about the infrastructure. We'll take care of all that for you. So coming on to what my work involves, let me just talk a little bit about why did I want to go become a product manager. So for the longest time ever, I was an engineer. So I was either debugging code, I was writing fixes, and that felt pretty good at the time. But after some point of time, I started feeling that this was not enough. I didn't just want to sit in my corner and write code. It was exciting to write code. I mean, make no doubt about it. However, I wanted to learn the entire process life cycle, not just in writing that small feature that I was given, but something right from scratch. How do I determine that my product A needs a new feature, and B, how do I build it from scratch? How do I determine how does the feature look like? How can I light it up? And at the end of the day, not just release it out to the market, but also determine for how do I keep improving it incrementally? And for certain things, we also have to work through end of life for these products. So my work on a day-to-day basis involves looking at customer landscape, the market landscape, and determine what are the things which our customers are asking for, or what are the things which the market is going towards, analyzing current trends. In fact, one of the reasons that app services, which is a PaaS offering, is still relevant in today's market is our ability to adapt to current trends. So we started out being just a Microsoft or a .NET offering. We've now moved on to Linux and other offerings, but we also have embraced application frameworks. For example, microservices or serverless. So we now have Azure Functions, which is the serverless offering on application platform. We have microservices through Azure Container Apps. So all these offerings we decided to bring as part of our offering. And that's the reason that in spite of the 10 years, in spite of technology moving in so many different directions, we're still relevant in the market today. And to be honest, I think that's a good analogy for an individual too. The way you grow in your career, in your job, is not just to be really good at what you do, but also keep looking for opportunities, keep looking at emerging trends, and adapt yourself or change yourself to what is happening out there in the market. So coming back to what my day-to-day work is. Firstly, I just want to mention that my every day is kind of different. When I was a developer or a software engineer, I used to get up in the morning and I knew exactly what I was doing. And that was good. It helps to plan your day. But being a product manager, I often have to determine what is the big thing that I'm going to go after. So I get to define my own day. And that's good and bad. So it means that there will be some kind of randomizations, but it's also good because I can determine what is the thing I need to go after. So whether should I look at customer feedback? Should I look at market trends? Should I do some kind of compete analysis? I also get to define what is the product vision and strategy going to be. And these are often multi-year strategies, which is the direction that we try to go. So for example, for app services, as I mentioned, I work for Linux app services. And behind the scenes, we actually use Docker containers to host our apps. So you bring your code to us and we will host it in a Docker container. Again, you don't need to worry about how containers work, how any of the infrastructure works. We will automatically do the hosting for you. But we soon realized that customers want a little bit more on that. They want not just to be able to run their Python code, but they also want to enable New Relic as an observability partner. So is there a way that I can put New Relic and your Python code together without the customer having to write a lot of code? So right now, for example, my team is exploring, can we do something for multi-containers or sidecar containers where the customers with a few clicks can enable other scenarios, observability being one of them. Oh, another part of a day-to-day job is I have to prioritize the work because there's always a lot of work. There's always a lot of feedback. There's always so much that we can do. How do we define which is the work which is going to give us the most bang for the buck? And that's part of my job, prioritizing. This is what our strategy looks like. And based on this strategy, this is the work that we need to do. So once we prioritize, I need to establish what are the exact features which maps to our priorities, because priorities is at a higher level. So now you have to, define the features which maps to the priorities. And what is the roadmap going to be? So you have to define the timelines. You have to define how are we going to release maybe the version 1? How do we iterate on version 1 and go to the next version and so on? Another part of my job is, and this is the part I really enjoy doing, is product advocacy, which is working with our marketing team, but also working with things like the Microsoft Reactor, going and reaching out to the community in general, talking about some of the offerings, because that's the best way to get feedback back, to have people try it out and then tell us what they feel, and it allows us to course correct as we go about it. And then, of course, we have to manage all the stages of the product lifecycle. So right from the time something lights up on the portal to the time we decide, okay, this is no longer answering our purpose and we need to now phase it out. And most days, well, every job has good and bad days, but most days I'm really excited to go and work because I can actually see the whole service coming together as one. Because I understand it from the business angle of it, I can also now relate why are we doing this and where is the product going in the future. I mean, there's something that we say always, software is a team sport, which means that it is in my role, I get to see all our various team members come together, not just engineering, not just the developers, but the marketing team, the designer team, everything coming together and releasing a service. And that's great to have. So as I said, I work on a PaaS offering. Right now, even though, and I'm sure you're hearing about all these buzzwords that we have, in the world. There's microservices, there's cloud native, everything probably needs to be on Kubernetes. And so how do we stay relevant? And I think that we are still, in spite of all this, in spite of microservices becoming the norm, in spite of Kubernetes, everybody wanting to go the Kubernetes route, there's still companies and customers who want to modernize their existing apps. And what we provide as a PaaS offering is one of the easiest way to do it. So the easiest way where you can get your application from your on-premise onto your cloud, PaaS is probably the best option to you. So there are two kinds of organizations in this world. One is the ones who are existing organizations who are trying to modernize. And the second is the born in the cloud who want to do everything in the cloud and they have no footprint on premise. But the good thing about app services is, and a good thing about PaaS is that we have offerings for both kind of customers. Ones who just like a little bit of control, but just want the entire productivity. But we also have things like container apps where you want to control everything that you're going to deploy and just want to do right from the start everything in Kubernetes. So I think that even as we go forward, PaaS will continue to stay relevant because we would have developers who would perhaps have some part of the application which they want to keep on a PaaS offering and not worry too much about the infrastructure, while they might have other parts of their infrastructure which might be cloud native and can go directly to Kubernetes or any of our Docker offering. So that's my spiel about my career story. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Tulika. That was an awesome session, and definitely everybody would have got an insight, like having a 2 decades of experience in the product engineering line. So I just have a quick question. So we do have a couple of questions, but just to ask, you've been in different kind of roles, like from product support, handling escalation. So I'm sure every day is different, and you've also discussed about it. Like, did you have any magic moments where either it could have been like a product going live or some kind of customer excitement or some releases or something? So would you like to share some thoughts, or how did your day go, or some magic moments that you would love to share with the audience?
Sure. So a couple of things, and magic moments, keeps changing as you move in your career. So when I was in the support team, it didn't happen always, but sometimes your customers would come and say, you know what, you gave me this solution and this saved my job. And that makes you feel, that gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside that, okay, whatever I'm doing and all the hours I spent is somehow worth it. So that was in the support time. When I joined engineering, the first time my feature lit up in the Azure portal, so Azure portal is portal.azure.com, which is used by customers all over the world. The first time, and it was a very small feature. It was just some logging that we had to. But the first time that lit up in the portal was this great aha moment that you feel like you've arrived and you've got your feature up in the product.
Definitely. I think everybody has a magic moment. So I'm glad that you kind of discussed, and people would kind of understand that it's not about just a particular day. It's like every moment, every day you enjoy is a magic moment. And yeah, and Kashish, you have any questions? But before that, I see a lot of questions in the chat asking, do we have the Microsoft Services Azure free for student? Yes, it is free for student. You can access the Azure services, including $100 in a free Azure credit with 25 plus free Azure services. So the links would be added in the comments, so you can check it out. And definitely there are services available for students
where you can kind of claim it. Yeah, Kashish, do you have any other questions for Tulika? Tulika, Kashish, I think you're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so actually I was blown away by the Tulika's presentation. So I have like a question for you. So what does a typical day in your life look like as a developer? So like what tools are you using and how do you go about building and discovering products or solutions?
So when I was working as a software engineer, when I was actually doing development, the main tool that I was using was Visual Studio. Inside Microsoft, we use our DevOps sprint boards, and that defines what is our work. So Microsoft works in terms of semesters. So every 6 months we have a semester, and the semester defines the broad items that we are going to work for the next 6 months. So that's part of the planning. That's the semester planning. Once the semester has been planned and the broad items have been defined, it's the work of the product manager, for example, to determine that how do we break down the broad items into smaller work items which now can be consumed or worked on by developers. So once that is done, classified into a work item, and we use the DevOps thing and we start working on it. Since we are like I work on Linux app services, a lot of my work involves working on Ubuntu with Docker. And we right now have very good integration with VS Code and Docker, which means that on a Windows system, I can actually use an Ubuntu simulator and run my Docker containers just like I would on a Linux machine. So those are some of the common things that I do as a developer. As a product manager, it becomes a little different. A lot of our work is focused on finding out what the customer feedback is, but we are also, so on the one hand we are product advocates where we try to popularize our features, but we are also sometimes our own product testers, which means that we use our own products to a great extent to determine what are the things which we can improve either in the UI or in the product itself. So that's another thing that I do on a daily basis, just familiarize myself with the product itself so that I can determine how we can make things better. Power BI is another thing that we regularly on because that allows us to do trend analysis. It allows us to find what are the features that our customers are using. So we get a lot of data. We collect a lot of data from the Azure portal, from various customer listening posts. How do we analyze that data and have manageable graphs? So Power BI is extremely helpful for that, and that's another thing that we use quite frequently.
Okay, brilliant. So right now we have a pre-recorded reel for you people.
Did you know you can create and deploy your own website for free? Even if you're new to HTML and CSS, you can go from idea to code to live site in minutes using VS Code, Copilot, and Azure. Abriel, I have my GitHub and Azure accounts, and I love coffee. Where do we start?
So this is our HTML file, and here is also our CSS file, and here is how it actually looks like right now. So what we are going to do is to ask Copilot to help us to include Bootstrap and UIKit. I'll return and ask Copilot with more help and other things. So here are the other things that Copilot helped me to do here on the HTML file and also here on the CSS file. So let's deploy it. Right after we submit our changes to GitHub and downloaded the extension of Azure and Azure Study Web Apps, we have to sign in with our Azure for Students account. So after that, we create the Azure Study Web Apps with this name. We select the region. I'll select custom. I'll leave it like this, and I'll change it to this. And so we will wait a few minutes just to confirm that everything's created. We click on Azure for Students, set a red box, browse our website, and here is the final result. Try GitHub Copilot now and take your coding game to the next level. Sign up for our Cloud Skills Challenge and attend follow-up sessions at the Reactor to learn more.
Okay, so that was some good insights on the development that we are doing in tech. So moving forward with our second speaker for the day, we have Priyesh Wagh. Priyesh is a MVP at Microsoft. Let's listen to his story. Over to you, Priyesh.
Yes, thank you, Kashish. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, based on wherever you're joining from. Um, my name is Priyesh Wagh, and I'm a Microsoft Business Applications MVP, and I work as a practice lead at CloudFronts. Now, since most of you are students, you must be wondering, what is a practice lead really? So I'll, of course, walk through my journey of how I started off and what I'm doing today. And also I'll talk about, how my career has gone from joining first time at a job as a fresher to, managing projects and team, client expectations and everything as of today over the course of 9 years. And I'll also talk about what my work has been, how it evolved differently each year and how it changed. And of course, I'll also talk about why I love my role and what we do at CloudFronts, right? So again, happy to add more insight to this session and happy to bring more light on what a career in Microsoft technologies oriented environment looks like, right? So I'll talk a little bit um, about how I started. So I started my career in 2014. Back then I was an IT graduate in India, Mumbai, and I joined this really new company, CloudFronts Technologies, as a fresher. And as most students into our first time job, it's really difficult to identify what are we really going to do in our careers. And we take up jobs, and after that we tend to realize more what the work is about. And that's how the learning process goes really. Realistically, it's very difficult to identify early on before you even start working as to what your work is going to be like, right? So that was my first introduction into Microsoft technologies. Dynamics 365 CRM, if any of you are aware, was that was one of the early years when it was online. It's one of the applications in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 business application suite. So it's one of the CRM offerings by Microsoft. So when I started, I was doing a lot of coding in initial years. And back then, low code or no code or fusion development hasn't taken off yet. And when I started off, I did a lot of JavaScript. I did a lot of C# code because something like Dynamics 365 CRM platform, it facilitates you to write C# code, which you can deploy on the platform that will, execute your custom logic. So that's what I was doing. I was writing a lot of code to get small things done, right? So first 2-3 years were like that. And slowly as Power Platform came along, and around 2016, as I grew over the years into a senior role, Power Platform came along, and we got introduced to something called as Power Apps. We got introduced to something called as Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, Power BI, and everything, all of that. So what it did is it introduced us to a new concept called as low code / no code. So I'll talk a little bit about what it means. It means that several years ago, you had to write a lot of code to do even the smallest of things. But what low code does is all the basic obvious operations that you had to do as a part of your implementation, that is already taken care by the platform itself. So let's say if you want to write a code to generate an auto number for every new record you add to the database, Previously, you had to write that custom logic yourself. But with low code, all that is now transformed into consumable pieces on the UI. And just like you make a slide deck or a PowerPoint presentation, you can design your flow to do all those operations. So all the mathematical operations, the conditional logic, all that is now embedded into consumable drag and drop style of building. So even someone like a citizen developer, so people who are not necessarily tech savvy or too much code based or code oriented, even they could learn this with some coding knowledge or some understanding of how code usually works or how to put syntax to work. Even they can learn this quickly and they can build their own small apps like that. So this is how things have evolved. And today, even though I'm practice lead at CloudFront, meaning I lead projects, I lead team, I set client expectations and work with them globally. I still do a little bit of no code and low code as well. So that adds to the balance. So how all this works is, it's been 9 years now, and the recent few years have been about 50% of low code or no code. So what that means is, because client requirements change quite frequently and they come at you at a very fast speed, that every week, every day, there's a new requirement that needs to be added or optimized for their platform. Using low code and no code like Power Apps and Power Automate, we are able to turn it around quickly. So you don't need to really spend many hours and try to use a lot of your experience, try to solve that problem. But you can do that much easily and in a much quicker way, and then move on to the next problem. So that's how it has been. And in recent few years, after I was a senior, I still continued doing that because that's how it keeps me relevant. It keeps me contributing to the community of people who are looking for answers, people who are developers, also clients and customers. Even they are logged into different communities, be it Dynamics 365 CRM or be it Power Platform, Power Automate, Power Apps, and everything. So in case if you're wondering what are these apps really, so let me just talk a little bit about what these apps are. Based on a licensing model, these apps, Canvas apps is one of the part of low code and no code. So Canvas apps is like a studio, which think of it like a PowerPoint. So if you want to make your slides, you pick items from the menu and you design your slides and you add some animation, add content to it, probably some logic, and you move forward. Similarly, a Canvas app will let you design your app, let you design how the button should look, let you design how the view should look, means how the record should be read. It helps you connect to a backend data store. It could be something called as a Dataverse, which is by Microsoft. It's their own data model, or connect to something like SharePoint Online or any other data sources. So there are several different connectors available for that. So you can really, being a citizen developer or not too tech savvy, you can make these smaller apps for yourself, because an application development doesn't have to be everything starting from scratch, having all the knowledge of coding and then trying to get to the starting point. With this low code and no code development, you could get to executing your own app in a matter of few hours to 1 or 2 days really, as opposed to several days and weeks. So that's what low code and no code really um, helps you do. And I'll talk about a little bit about what my work evolves at CloudFronts. So I also, since globally businesses, small and medium sized businesses, they're looking for a digital transformation journey. Probably they are using Excel. Probably most of them are doing some things manually, and they haven't got an entry point yet into using business applications which are sophisticated, like what Microsoft offers. So be it Dynamics 365 or Power Platform, they haven't been there yet. So every such small and medium business, they require to have a sales system in place, a CRM in place necessarily, because they have to sell something. So they have to have a sales strategy in place where their salespeople can use the system to define how the sales should take place. Next, they also need to manage what work they're doing. they need to have again a centralized system for that. And finally, because they also need to invoice the customer, they need to provide services after that. That is something that they also need to do. So Microsoft has these different business applications which take care of all of this journey. And now how to enhance these systems or how to customize and configure this further, that is all taken care. Most of it, is possible to do using low code and no code methodologies. So while you can continue to write your complex code that really takes care of huge transactions, but you can, if there's a department at a company that just needs a little functionality, that they don't need to really learn the whole system from start to end. Some of the citizen developers or some of the developers and the firm or consultants like myself or anyone else, they could help them build these apps quickly. And then, they are then ambitious of what the other complexities are. So this really helps process the cycle quickly. You're able to provide solutions at a much faster pace, and solutions and industries or companies see success really early on instead of to go through a traditional software development cycle and wait several months before they could see actually their work uh, passing through all these systems. So my work involves, in the pre-sales activities of, how to talk to customers, understanding the problem statements, what part of Microsoft applications is suitable for them, right? Because always the right question to ask is, why do you at all need these systems? So it has to be necessarily narrowed down to exactly what they need. Because, Canvas apps and Power Apps, you can start off with very little. It helps customer get onboarded quickly. Then I architect within different projects as well, as I also have a team working with me, which are much younger, and they do all the coding and all the hard work behind the scenes. I also need to ensure that whatever I learned through the years, I have to pass it on. So I also architect in these projects and then contribute to as many projects as I can. Then I lead projects because we have to talk to clients. My role also involves in having discussions, setting expectations, seeing if things are going on track or not, and general stuff like that. Then I also mentor team members. I usually also talk about how I handle certain situations, how I found answers, how the community has been helpful whenever I didn't knew something, or whenever it was too late in the night to ask someone in the community, ask a friend of what the problem is. Microsoft communities are really um, come together globally, and they answer your questions, be it Power Platform or Dynamics 365, either way. And I also work with the team to see what's latest and greatest today, how things are different from what last year it was, how things are different today, what our roadmap looks like, uh, what technology stack should we advocate for, how to pitch that, and all of that. So it helps all of us learn from each other. There's so much to learn from every single individual in your team that it's never going to stop. It's not going to end. So that's how my work that's what my work is about. And the reason I love what I do is because you're probably at an environment which is flexible enough to let you think creatively without having any boundaries, and try to come up with creative solutions. Every solution for a customer doesn't really have to be super complex and boring. You can come up with innovative ideas, add that to the list, develop quickly, put it up on the system live, and let customer share live feedback while discussing other things. So this flexibility is really nice. It doesn't let you sit at one place throughout the day just coding. That would really be boring. So the flexibility is key. That is what's the fun aspect of it. And there are different areas in Dynamics 365 business applications. So I validate what I do. I ask my team members what's a better way to do it. I get to learn that as well. The same thing we discuss with customers as well. So this flexibility really keeps me busy all the time, and being busy is a nice thing today. So that's why I love what I'm doing. Plus, you have exposure to the global customers or people in the community globally, whom over the years have gone to known from just being community members to some people or acquaintances or friends that we've known quite closely. So that's why I love my role. And finally, we're 100% Microsoft Cloud focused. So there are some of the complex server things which used to happen back in the day. I still am not much aware of that because thankfully Microsoft has come up with everything that's on the cloud. Everything Microsoft takes care of all these systems. We really have to worry about just solutionizing problems for the customers and then deploying to them. The infrastructure part is something that I wouldn't really worry about because we're 100% on Microsoft Cloud. So that was entirely my journey. And to summarize in a few words again, it's being not knowing much to really growing year on year and trying to experience something new. So it's never going to be the same. Even in the future, it's always going to be something latest and greatest always. Now, because low code and no code, it's evolving. I think the future looks like your core code or your deep technical skills are always going to be relevant, but having low code and no code in place, it's going to make things much easy for you to do, at least for the much early on aspects in your implementation. So it's always going to be a combination of low code, no code, plus your complex system, which are more robust as well. So I hope I was able to, shed some light on how low code, no code, or what this fusion development thing is all about. It's being widely practiced now, and it's gonna keep growing as ever. So I hope this was useful.
Thanks, Priyesh. That was an awesome session and a great insight about this low code and no code. I think everybody
Thanks,
in
Kamal.
this generation would love to give a touch on
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
But just curious out of curiosity, the reason is I've been in this industry for a decade and I've been doing from the scratch where I literally started with the coding, the scaffolding part, the
Right.
arranging, a lot of things we have done manually. But now if you
Yes.
think everything is like drag and drop kind of things, right?
Yes.
So do you think it will kind of completely replace coding?
It won't. In my opinion, it really won't, because low code, no code is supposed to make the obvious things easier.
Mhm.
It's not really supposed to replace what you want to do. It doesn't mean that it's limited. It also doesn't mean that it has its restrictions, but it depends on what kind of control you still want to have. So low code and no code, because most requirements today are fast paced, they change at a rapid pace. In a matter of weeks, clients would ask you to deploy something for them that's probably gonna run for a shorter time. No code, low code really brings down that implementation time from several days to few hours or 1 or 2 days. That also affects the cost because even for the customers around the world globally, it's more cost effective. um, so yeah, it's always going to be a blend. It's not going to really replace coding, at least for a good foreseeable future.
Okay. So personally, what's your take on it? As a student who's learning into coding, who's starting his career, should they get their hands really dirty, come in that path, or is it like directly jump into these low code, no code, and kind of leverage this functionalities? What do you think about it? Your personal opinion or take on it?
Yes, absolutely. So my personal opinion is coding is interesting. I know it might be overwhelming initially that, oh, I have to look into a lot of lines. I don't know where this error is from, or I don't know where to click next. It might be overwhelming, but trust me, every journey, the first 20% is where it always feels difficult to get by. Even in low code, no code, you might feel, though it's just clicking, but do I need to really, why is it so difficult? So what my personal opinion on this is, learn coding really deep, because once your fundamentals are all set, even coding is a breeze for you, and even low code, no code is a breeze for you. You just can't rely on having no code, low code always, and you just can't rely on just doing coding also. So it's always a mix of things, and balance out. Students should really balance out their time between um, going full into coding and then low code. Initially, they should code, but once it's obvious and it's routine, they could then replace that with low code, or start off something on the code side and then replace some parts of it with code usually. So that's how I would, recommend.
Definitely, that's a good suggestion, Priyesh, because I don't want the coders to directly jump and make their life easy. I know they have to concentrate on the functionality part or the technical aspects, but there's another things we need to get things straight in the beginning itself. And just to pause you there, we have a lot of questions coming, but this is for the audience. I think there is the question kind of posed which says, what was your biggest takeaway from this career story about low code, no code fusion development? Please poll in your answers on Menti. We will have these answers read out in a couple of minutes. So I would suggest the audience to ask any questions or poll in your answers here. So you have the link with the code, which you can see it on the screen. So we're looking forward for all these answers. Okay, you can see the poll, the answers: creating dynamic web pages, Power Pages, and integrating OpenAI solution with Power Platform. So you can see the live polls results here. Please do poll in your answers. Or if you're kind of not unable to go ahead with this poll, please tell us in the chat so that we can read out your comments and understand what is your opinion or take on this. Oh, I see a lot of people creating dynamic web pages, Power Pages. So in the meantime, Priyesh, I just had another questions with the boom of all this chat GPT and Copilot. Where do you see the tech industries kind of going, particularly with these respect?
Yes, I think that's a great question. Everyone is talking about ChatGPT today. I see people quickly hopping on to using ChatGPT, which was traditionally just Googling things. How I see this is, of course, it's gonna evolve, and it is still evolving. It's still very early, really, and it's I think few people still are yet to realize that it's not always true, right? Because even ChatGPT says that it's gonna keep improving because it is generative AI. How I would still advocate using ChatGPT is to validate what you know already, validate what you learned quickly, and not just take the first attempt at ChatGPT and take that answer as truth, probably. So how I still use today is because ChatGPT is so new, we are all used to doing traditional information hunting and implementing that. So how I use ChatGPT today is I revalidate things that whatever I've gotten, is that the same thing as well. So it also gives me an insight of how ChatGPT really works, how to use it effectively. I would still use it as a tool to validate what I found.
Definitely.
And it's gonna get better in months and years to come. We've seen ChatGPT 4 recently, GPT-4 recently released, and that's way more powerful. So can't really imagine what's gonna come.
Okay, thanks, Priyesh. That was a good take and a good insight on keeping your experience with low code and how students or professionals can invest their time very efficiently and cautiously. Thank you so much, Priyesh. And definitely we can see the poll results. We see creating a dynamic web page, Power Page seems to be in the lead, and the second lead seems to be integrating OpenAI solutions with Power Platform. And then we have the solving business problem, Power Apps and Excel. And then 3 and 2 with using Power Automate to streamline workflow and creating virtual agents to handle human queries. So definitely looks like the polls
Power
are coming
Pages,
in.
yes.
Yeah, Power Pages.
Websites
And
are still the favorite.
Yes, indeed, Priyesh. So yeah, looking forward. And now we would have a video being played. So thank you, Priyesh, so much. It was great having you in.
Thank you, Kamal. And again, enjoy the rest of the Student Summit. Thank you all for joining today.
Now that you've learned about low-code development, let's explore something that you can do with Microsoft Power Platform with Power Automate and ChatGPT technology. It's a simple one, where students who are part of a community or club or professionals in a company receive a newsletter update weekly on the most trending technology topic, which could be AI, Power Platform, or .NET. A marketing team captures the week's topic to be included in the newsletter using an adaptive card. Then a Power Automate flow receives the input and uses ChatGPT 3 to extract the entities from the text. The extracted entities are sent to search tweets about the specific topic. Then ChatGPT 3 generates a newsletter using the top 10 trending tweets. An email is sent to students or developer groups with the newsletter to stay up to date with the latest changes from their respective technology. I chose this simple demo because I was playing with OpenAI and because at my previous workplace, they were looking for ways to generate news about what's new and happening with Power Platform to catch up and not miss any features. You saw how cool it was to actually just build a solution using Power Platform with GPT technology. So if you want to learn more, you can actually complete the Cloud Skills Challenge we have for the Student Summit and join more of our follow-up sessions at the reactors.
Okay, so all right. After all the two speakers, we have another speaker lined up for you, which is Kasam Sheikh, who is also a MVP at Microsoft. We'd like to hear your career story. Over to you, Kasam.
Hey Kasam, you're on mute, Kasam.
Aditya, I think your voice is not
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining this summit and thank you for having me. Myself, Kasam Sheikh, and I'm a Microsoft MVP in AI, among the first 4 from India. And I worked as a lead solution architect with Capgemini as an Azure and AI and low-code SME. My work involves basically to work with clients, to present or to suggest the designing or the solutioning part based on the business requirements altogether. So I started my career with Microsoft technology only, with that is basically with .NET framework and C# as a language. And then from last 7 to 6 years, I started with Azure, basically in 2016. So when I started working with Azure, it was only 27 services. Now it is more than 1,000. More than 300. Sorry for that word. So the very first, the very first product which I built, I was a part of that team that involves AI as a stack, where we wanted to have some kind of digital. Wanted to build a digital admin altogether, and those face APIs and those emotion APIs were all new one from the Azure itself, and I was very lucky to use it in a very initial stage, and that really clicked altogether to work in this field. Rather, what all possibilities or what all things we can achieve using the AI services and with the power of course, with the power of Microsoft Azure. So, of course, along with that, there was some community events, community tech events, which was happening in my area in Mumbai and local parts of India, which had many new services or new uh, presentations given by the Microsoft uh, folks on basically on the bots or AI field. And when I started attending those events, and when I started using those services of in my day-to-day job or in my day-to-day activity, that really helped me to grow in this AI area, or rather AI field. And that's where I started. I wrote my first book on Microsoft bot framework, that is Azure AI. That is the service name was Q&A Maker. So that was the only book which was written on that particular subject. So I have authored 4 books, and all are all revolves around the bot framework, artificial intelligence with business, and Azure areas only. So this is where I started. I writing blogs. I started presenting. I started giving talks, and I formed my own a group or a community, a tech community for Azure and AI learners or enthusiasts, who was very peers to me. And I like, it was a kind of group joining. It was a kind of group event, get together events, and learning things, sharing the things what they are doing with those services, what all things they are achieving, what all blockers, or what all things they are expecting from the services, that those kind of stuff. And there I started the community name Dear Azure. So now Dear Azure community has more than 10,000 users, 10,000 members, and all are very zeal, all are with a zeal of learning Azure and AI. So we regularly have many webinars, workshops, and this AI boot camps, Azure boot camps, and all. So coming back to what I'm doing as a part of being in Capgemini, I I'm a part of Microsoft community SPOC for basically I drives cloud certification initiatives in my business unit. I also plays an role of mentors for the aspiring architects who are just aspiring to become an architect or a lead architect kind of stuff. I am just helping them out in their pathway, in their journey pathway. Um, uh, this is what exactly overall I do, and I really like to make it this happen, because the one of my passion of sharing my knowledge and sharing to the community is being served in a very side by side way of along with working and with the Capgemini over here. I wanted to, basically touch base on you all with an AI fundamentals, basically Azure AI fundamentals. Um, the reason is, as you know, the trending era which is going on about the boom in AI altogether, which is absolutely good and absolutely, uh, in a positive terms, it's a very productive way of asking of having this AI tools with us. But in the same time, it is very much necessary to be a very responsible using this AI, and very responsible or in having or thinking the ways you can use this AI. And many of the times I get the same queries or kind of questions coming in, like how to start or where to start with when we start when we talk about AI. So there are many things coming in. So this is the basically where I deal with, or when I give a talk I start with. So if you want to start learning with AI, if you want to start learning with the fundament, start learning fundamentals. Okay, the fundamentals is the best thing to start with. And if you want uh, the best part or the best resource to start with, of course we will present you with the resources and links to you know start your path learning journey with AI. But yes, the best start point is your Microsoft Learn portal. where we will be having an entire learning objectives of AI, all the differences, all the basic fundamentals concepts of machine learning, artificial intelligence, what is natural language processing, what is this generative AI all about. So this in a very simpler way, built and developed, curated by the experts. You can just go through it. It's in very, I believe, just in 11 or 12 hours of course. And definitely there is an certification which is being presented by Microsoft, that is AI 900, that is Azure AI Fundamentals. That again, that will help you out, to make your basics clear. So it's always important, whatever you try, whatever you start learning, whatever you're planning to start learning, make your basic concepts thorough, make your fundamentals very much clear. Okay, the things will keep growing, but all the things which are growing in, all the things which are coming in are based on the fundamentals. And if your fundamentals are strong, if your fundamentals of any of the subjects are clear, in our case, if it is in our case it's AI, right? So if your fundamentals for the AI is very much clear, you can master, you can think you can think just using the thing and doing most innovative stuff in a most responsible manner. Okay, now one good part is Microsoft has also introduced an free assessment in Microsoft Learn portal. So, and that for AI 900, there are few exams, few certification exams for those the assessments that came in, and one of the exams is Azure AI Fundamental. So once you go through that path, once you go through that journey, the entire study path which has been planned in that Microsoft Learn portal, just try to give an assessment and see where you stand. That will really help you to give the main exams, that is AI 900. So before appearing for the main exam, just try to complete this assessment, and that is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay anything on the Microsoft Learn portal also. So it's very easy to learn and easy to start path. Uh, Talking about my community experience, as I said, I run Dear Azure, uh, Azure community, and it is also from last 5 years. And many of the session events, like many of those boot camps, be it in global AI community, AI boot camp, or it's in global Azure boot camps, or certification workshops are taken care by. I do try to have these workshops along with the other experts and other SMEs or other MVPs, mostly in India, mostly in Mumbai area, and sometimes it happens over the in a virtual sessions also. So I remember there was an we all went to that COVID period, and the best part was one of the best part was about learning in that particular stuff in that particular time. Was the best experience. I gave my 3 exams during that pandemic period. I know it's not a good way to talk about a kind of pandemic positiveness of pandemic, but I'm just saying that if you want to learn, if you want to grow, or if you have a goal set in your mind, you can do it at any time. Nothing can block you. There could be no blocker. Not even a pandemic can block you. So you have a best resources. When I started my journey, there was many less uh, like I cannot say less resources, but it was just a growing time. So it was the resources or the learning documents and all those stuffs were just evolving. Now you have a very huge bunch sets of all the stuffs. You have an YouTube channels from Microsoft developers communities, Microsoft students community. So you can make most out of it, and of course, Microsoft Learn portal will definitely help you along with the sources which I will share. So this is quite a short journey of mine in a very crisp way. I'm happy to answer any if you have any questions around this.
Thank you, Kasam. That was an interesting session to understand about the bot, Azure AI, and how the future is kind of working. Now, sometimes I kind of think about it like, why should one really invest in Microsoft Azure AI? Now, if I'm a student who's like kind of budding into this IT world and coming, so what is your take on it? Why should someone really invest in it and do what is that he can create smarter Just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
See, using Microsoft Azure basically runs this AI models, as I told in my initial talk, using AI responsibility with a responsible AI principle is one of the best or most important thing when you start using AI or when you start investing in AI. Why to use Microsoft Azure is basically Microsoft Azure follows the principles or monitors the usage of AI in a very ethical manner, in a very uh, transparent, with all the transparency, with all the reliability, and you can have the Microsoft Azure security behind it, the power of, see, basically a huge or a best AI models needs a huge compute, it needs a huge data to make it more mature, and this of course a huge algorithm behind it. And when it comes from a giant like Microsoft uses the existing the like the for example the latest OpenAI models which is being used by Microsoft products. So how you can see how what are the power you can achieve by using those large models with the use of Microsoft. So here is what why I basically prefers Microsoft Azure is about the security, the reliability, and the fairness, the way it uses, and of course the base objective of using an AI for good kind of stuff. So that is the best part I feel.
Okay. That was a great insight, Kasam. So I'll just pause you because we have a question for the audience. What was your biggest takeaway from this career story about AI, ML, and data science? Please pull in your answers on the QR code, scan it, or you can go to this website with this particular code. And please do pull in your answers. We're going to find out what are the majority of your answers are. So back to you, Kasam. These days, we see students are just not coming out of colleges and then getting into an IT company. We see a lot of entrepreneur and startup mode starting in the college life itself. So what do you think, how would they would be benefited in this Microsoft Azure AI part? What's the beneficial from the startup point of view?
Okay, so when we talk about the startups, so there are many initiatives even the Microsoft has given for the startups and for the young entrepreneurs. And as I said again, we have the ready to use models. We have they don't have to invest on the costing behind or the datas and the computes which needs these models to get up more mature in utilizing it. Rather they can focus on the problem area, the startup. When they are trying to build a startup with a problem area, they can try to focus it on it. Microsoft provides a huge tool, varieties of tools to use this intelligent models. It also provides many of the subscriptions kind of fair subscriptions for the startup. It has many. I have seen. I'm not able to recollect the name, but there is a separate channel altogether for guiding, for a guide, for providing a guidance for the startup entrepreneurs altogether. So, um, as an as a youth, or if you want to start up, or if you want to go, or if you want to start something and you have something in your mind that you need to create this innovative stuff or you need to address this problem statement, you don't have to worry about the things that to have from its scratch. Microsoft Azure or Microsoft Azure AI models will give you all the things ready. It is just you need to utilize it and you to create the things.
Definitely, Kasam. Totally to the point. Um, I have a very quick questions because I have a lot of questions pouring related to Azure AI 900 in the chat. So do you like to give a little more insight on that so that students are pretty clear about it? So they're asking, is it fundamental or will it land me a job or is it an advanced? So could you highlight more or give more details on that?
Sure. So Azure AI Fundamentals, as I said, it's a very right source or right point to start your learning journey with artificial intelligence. So if you're planning to, make your career in artificial intelligence, you need to be very much clear with your fundamentals. And that is what AI 900 will focus on. It will make you understand what is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. I've seen many people, when they talk about AI, it is more likely that they mix up the things of AI, ML, NLP, and all. They think that it all sits in the same stack, right? But it is not the case. Like AI is an bigger umbrella. ML is a subset of it, whereas NLP again is another subset of ML. So, what is the thin line difference between these jargons? What is the exact fundamentals, or what exactly a machine learning does? What exactly artificial intelligence is all about? What is NLP? What is generative AI? All this stuffs, all these thin line examples, or all these thin line concepts will be cleared once you go for AI. And I will show you, the how the things are categorized, how Azure has categorized these AI models into different categories. Like there could be a vision, it could be a language models, the vision models, uh, the search thing, the knowledge capacity. All these different categorizations are very clean and detailed, explained in that AI 900 exams. And yes, like I cannot say that it will land you directly into an AI engineer job. So it has a different stage of exam certification. So AI 900 is a very fundamental exam where you will clear your basic concepts. Then there are AI 100, AI 102, which comes on the AI engineer associate, and the higher level exams, which definitely helps you out for landing up for the AI engineer jobs. But yes, along with this certification, you have to do your own hands-on. Microsoft Azure gives you free subscriptions for the students, for the eligible students and universities, wherein you can utilize some of the powerful AI services. Once you go through this AI 900, you can have those practical, diving in on your own. So it will be a kind of make your hand dirty with diving in with these services, not only just reading the things. If you make yourself hands-on, it will definitely help you in your job also.
Thank you, Kasam. That was a good point, and definitely I'm gonna let the audience know that you have kind of authored 4 books on Azure AI and bot framework. I'm sure it'll be definitely a good read, and also be a part of his community where he started called Dear Azure, and he's a YouTuber as well. So please do check out his link, be a part of it if you're interested to be a part of Azure AI career. And thank you, Kasam, so much. It was an awesome session.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to bring the answers to the poll question, which was, what was your biggest takeaway from this career story about AI, ML, and data science? So we will have the poll results very soon coming up on the screen. So so we will have them displayed very shortly. Okay, so we see the answers polling in, and we see the majority is using OpenAI in projects. Seems to be the top one. And the second top is writing machine learning code. And then we have using Azure Machine Learning Studio. Looks like there's going to be a tie between the using OpenAI and the machine learning code. So you want to say your thoughts on it, Kasam?
No, definitely. Like OpenAI models have really changed the course, and the way the people are using it, the thinking of using it, has definitely make it the service of the moment right now. And along using that OpenAI service models with Microsoft can create really great use cases. I myself, we are using it right now. We are trying to implement and having talks with the clients, and even the clients around are very much interested in knowing how we can utilize this large model. So I can very well this how the bars are going on is really justifiable.
Indeed, I see that. So I still see people polling in, and looks like OpenAI in projects seems to be topping up. But yeah, thank you so much, Kasam. That was great insight on the Azure AI and how to be part of the community, and also be a part of the fundamental certification. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for joining. Best of luck.
Okay, on to you, Kashish.
Okay, so let's see some of the latest tech in action. Let's play a reel.
The world of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science is growing quickly, and Microsoft is empowering each and every person to be involved. No man left behind, right? For example, using Azure Cognitive Services, you have access to different AI capabilities, such as image recognition, text translation, speech to text, and all this without writing a single line of code. In comes Azure OpenAI service, which makes it more interesting through the power of generative AI, where you can now address deeper challenges such as language barriers. Let me show you a virtual assistant chatbot built with Azure OpenAI services and Azure Speech Services. The bot understands various languages and replies to prompts. For example, what is the weather in Nairobi? Now, once you click the AI, it will give us a response and also say it out loud.
The current weather in Nairobi is partly cloudy with a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
The greatest thing about this demo is you can actually say out loud what you want and it will reply back to you. So let's test it in a different language. Hali ya hewa jijini Nairobi EVP wakati huu. And then it will, once I click on the AI, it will give me a response.
Hali ya hewa jijini Nairobi sasa ni nyepesi na kiwango cha hewa ni 24 nyuzi Celsiasi 75.
How exciting was that? This project was built by Cyrus Wong, an educator from Hong Kong, to help understand and answer all students' questions regardless of their local languages. What challenges are there in your communities that you can tackle with AI? To learn more about the different AI capabilities, join us for our live reactor sessions and the Cloud Skills Challenge.
All right, so that was a great insight. And now we have again another question to be shared on the Menti. So I would request all the audience to poll in the answers saying how do you feel and what you've learned today about your career and tech in each of these areas. Yeah. So today's session, just to give you kind of an overview, we had no code, low code, we had app dev and dev tools by Tulika, and no code and low code by Priyesh, and then Azure AI, machine learning and data science by Kasam.
So Kamal, I think we have made it to the last of the event now. So as you are working in the industry, right, you have experience. So what are the key takeaways that you are taking from this summit right now?
Definitely, there are a lot of things. First thing I would love to say, congratulations to all of you being a part of the Student Summit. The reason is, decade back when I was into the industry, we never had one. So these kind of opportunities, something very rare. I would say whenever there is events like this, please do be a part of it. Get the most of it from the experts. Learn and see how you can kind of nurture and tweak your career into it. And the best part is find out some mentors group and then talk to them, understand where you can kind of invest your time and get most of it. Now, my takeaway from this would be to understand what are the things booming and what is the current trend that is happening. Because what happens is being or working in a particular process, we are so confined to that particular technology and we keep working day in and day out only related to that technology. But when I come out of it, I get to know so many things about the low code, no code, which Priyesh was talking about, where that would be the future, where we used to spend so much of time and we should also think about projects or innovative solutions aligning to these kind of trending topics. So I have to see how can I come up with solutions that can implement this low code, no code in my day-to-day life, or taking Tulika's experience like the product engineer, where she kind of shared our day-to-day activities, what are the hurdles she faced, and what were the challenges she's kind of gone through. So someone's experience is a learning curve for me. So that is what I look as a student or a developer or even an experienced pro developer, what I could take out of these sessions and see how I can kind of implement it. So these are my takeaways when I kind of be a part of the summit.
All right. So as a student, I felt that this was very much needed for a beginner, right? So as students, we don't have a roadmap or a pre-described pathway that we can follow. So I think from the summit, I was able to understand like what exactly a role that, like if it's AI, if it's no code or low code, or it's a journey of a product manager. So I was able to understand what exactly the field looks like, what a domain looks like, and it helps me get a clearer picture of that domain. So as a
Indeed.
student, I think that it was pretty helpful.
Indeed, because I think students have this preconceived notion that, okay, I'm going to remain a student, I'm going to be a developer, and then what next? No, your role is going to keep changing. You might be a developer for the first few years, and then you might get into a team lead, and then you might completely change or shift your domain or completely different, where you might be a business developer, or you could be a product engineer, or you could be a developer advocate also. So your roles are never going to remain same. So it's always good to have perceptions or ideas as to how different role functions and what are the challenges or what are things that we could do different to come up with some exciting innovative solutions.
That is so true. Indeed, yes.
So also I think we have the answers. I mean, we still have time to poll in your answers describing your student summit experience in one word. So scan the QR code or get onto the website with the code. We would love to hear your feedback, your ideas, your experience, your suggestions, so that summit is all about students and connecting people and talking about the latest tech, right? And how you can kind of benefit. So definitely looking forward to these kind of poll answers.
This is my favorite part of the summit, where all the suggestions, all the feedback comes into one place.
Yeah. So if you had to describe in one word, what would that be, Kashish? I know it's very challenging because when we pose these kind of questions to students,
right.
So yeah, one word.
One word, I think it would be, for me, it was helpful and informative. Just informative, I would say. Informative.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it was like a few things where these wow factors. I was like, okay, really? This is what is going to be the future? Okay, we need to think about it. It kind of tells me, okay, you need to come out of that bubble and experience what's happening in the rest of the IT field.
Right.
I think we have some in the chats saying knowledge is informative.
Awesome session. Right.
I think it's taking
Honestly,
some time. Oh, cool. I think it's taking some time to get the poll results.
There's words in the comment section as well.
Yeah.
Someone is saying, I think Aisha or Ayasha is saying bombarding.
And for the audience, in case if your questions weren't answered or if you had something you would love to know about it, definitely these charts would be answered or your questions would be answered later. So definitely watch out the live sessions or the recorded one later. You might get your answers. Yeah, Kashish, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I think we are flooded with the one words that we have asked for. Like it's flooding right now. But we have to move on to the next slide. And also from this link, you can find out about all our different offerings. Like this is the link that you can paste in your browser. And from this link, you can know about any Microsoft Learn where you can compete in our Cloud Skill Challenges, Azure for Students. Any knowledge on Azure for Students is available. Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Program information is also available. And to get any certifications and so much more is available in this one URL. So you can paste this in your browsers and have a look.
All right. So we have this question saying always when will be the next Student Summit? So stay tuned for that. We will announce it, and we'll have some exciting news sessions and a lot of good, awesome content coming up for you. And I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Kashish, for being a wonderful host for the day, and to the speakers being so awesome and sharing their experience, and to the team behind the scenes who are working. Just to mention Rashmita, Parth, the other teams, they did an awesome job. Thank you so much. We still have some time. Do share your experience in one word in the chat. And yeah, Kashish, you have, go ahead.
Okay, so actually I was still going through the chat and I've like seen some words like transformative. And I think people have phenomenal session, even I see here, like wow, post session. So people are actually still asking, and I think the session was great, brilliant. It was full of knowledge, and I think I gained a lot of insights from all the professionals that were here today.
Definitely. Thank you so much, audience, and thank you so much, Kashish. Once again, we will post all the links, all the details, and looking forward until the next Student Summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, Aditya, you're audible.
Yeah, so I think everyone is okay. And we are just going to start our next part and last part of the today's event, which is quiz. And I already told that in the quiz, the first winner will be getting the Xbox Pass, and the second winner will be getting a LinkedIn Premium. Okay, so let me share you the link from where you can join in the quiz. We are just trying to get on kahoot.it. I guess it work. After that, when you will be going on kahoot.it, you have to just put on the one code there, and in the meantime, I will be providing that code. Okay, so yeah, we are providing the game pane now. So just wait for a few minutes. Yeah, here is it. It's 4241459. So you can see your screen names on the screen. Yeah, Abhishek, Aman, very good.
Now we got a lot of people. So we'll wait for like 2 more minutes and then we'll start.
Before starting, I will be telling you the rules for the quiz. You will be getting 10 questions, and for 10 questions, for every question you will be getting only 10 seconds to answer. It will be a multiple choice question. Uh, Only one option is correct out of 4 or 3. So let's wait for more moments to join more people in the quiz. Okay, so now we have 20 participants. So, Megha, I think we're to start now.
Yes, we can start.
Okay, so let's start with our today's quiz. So here on your screen, the first question comes 3, 2, 1. Okay, so these are all the questions are set up by the modules. So you can just pick out the one correct option. Time's up. It's cool that 12 people have answered correct. Okay, so let's see who is on the top now. Cool. Nikhil is on the top, and second is Tanmay, and third is Blue Cap. So let's move to the next question. These all the questions are set up by the modules which you have completed in the Cloud Skill Challenge. Come on, come on. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. Okay, so in this we have got only 9 correct options, 9 correct answers. So let's see who is on the top now. Okay, so Nikhil is still on the top. Second one is Prince Raj. I think Nikhil wants the Xbox Pass. Okay, cool. So let's move to the next question. Your times begin now. Okay, so we have only 2 correct options. Cool. So let's see who is in the top now. Okay, so Blue Cap is on top now, and Nikhil goes to the second position. Need not to worry, you can come up your position in the next question. So here comes the next question on your screens. You guys are really very fast in clicking the answers. That's very cool. Okay, so we have got 9 correct answers now. And let's see who's on the top. Crab. Blue Crab is still on the top. And Abhishek Aman is on the second position.
I'm just
So
curious, who is Blue Crab?
Yeah, me too. Come on, guys. 3, 2, 1. Time up. Okay, 5 correct answers, and Blue Crab is still on the top. Okay, so Marcel is on second now. So let's go to the next question. So you can read the question first. Time up. Only 3 correct answers. And Blue Crab is still on the top. Next question on your screen. Five correct options. And now the blue crab is still on top and Abhishek Aman is on the second position. So let's move to next question. The eighth question of the today's quiz. It's time up. And we have got five correct answers. I assure you that the next two questions will be very easy for you all guys. So let's see who is on the top. Okay, so Blue Crab is still on top and Arjun Nath have taken the second position now. So this is very easy question for you all guys. Let's see how many correct answers we get. Oh my God, only six correct options. Microsoft on GitHub in 2018, not in 2014. Okay, so let's see who is on the top. So Blue Crab is still on the top and Arjun Nath is at second position. Last question for you all guys. I think everyone's solution about the chat GPT. So let's see who knows this question. Time up. Oh no, only three correct answers I have got. And all of you think that it's launched in January 2023, but not. It was launched in November 2022. And let's see who is in the winner now. And at the third position, Arjun Nath. And second position goes to Anuj. Congratulations, Anuj. And the first position is Blue Crab. I know. Yeah, Blue Crab. Congratulations, everyone. The first
Congratulations, everyone.
The first winner will be getting Xbox Pass, and second will be given LinkedIn Premium. Okay, so let's me stop this screen. Wait. Okay. So now we are at last phase of the today's event. So can we have a group pick now? I will be allowing the cameras for everyone so that everyone can open up your cameras and we have a group pick. Okay, so wait, I will be allowing your cameras. So I guess now
Aditya, are you going to announce the winners of Cloud Challenge as well?
Yeah, after this, means after the group pick, we will be announcing that.
Okay, sure.
I have got 10 entries in the Cloud Skills Challenge. Only 10, and let's see who is the winner now. So now you can open up your cameras. Let's view this in together mode, and we
I
will be
found the
having a
blue crab actually.
Yeah. Together mode. Okay, I think this scene is good, or we might change something. So let's have a, come on guys, more people can come in between. Itasha, you can also come, you can also join us. Say cheese. Okay, let's change the view. Which one is good? Okay, wait, change the scene. I think black chairs are good.
You can change the screen, like
Which
for them to
screen?
get about it. Looks a little bit funny, you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm changing the scene. Is
Okay,
it changed for?
let me take a snapshot. You can stop sharing so that I can take.
Okay, wait. Is it changing for everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, it's changing for everyone.
The cheese. You can post this on the social media handles after the event. Okay, so let me stop presenting my screen now. Okay, so now the time has been come to announce the winners for Cloud Skill Challenge. And guess what? Who will be the winner? Firstly, I will be announcing the names who has participated in the Cloud Skill Challenge. So we have Soloni Kumari, Isha Vikhar, Ola Jide Shitu, sorry if I pronounced wrong, Nikhil Singh, Raman Tiwari, Aditya Pratap Singh Chauhan, Abhinaya Bidruru, and Tanav Patil, Anuj Kumar, and Prince Raj. These all 10 have submitted the Cloud Skill Challenge. And guess who will be the winner? So we have a winner. Prince Raj is the winner for Cloud Skill Challenge. He has submitted in within 15 minutes. All the modules he have completed in 15 minutes, and he have win the pack of stickers. Congratulations, Prince Raj, if you are here.
Congratulations, Prince.
And Anuj Kumar has completed all the modules in 17 minutes. Well tried, Anuj. Okay, so now we can declare the result of social media challenge. I see lots of you haven't tagged us on the social media handles. So we will be, telling that later in the group because lots of you haven't tagged us and already used the hashtags. So we will be telling that later in the group. Thank you all for joining. If you have any query, you can ask us now. And here we have a Windows Insider MVP, Megha. So you can ask her any query if you have. In the chat box. Oh, one more thing is left. Let me provide you a feedback form. And after feedback form, you will be getting the certificates on your, mails within 30 seconds. So need not to worry. Let me just quickly give you the feedback link. After filling the feedback link, you will be getting your certificates on your mail within 30 seconds. Okay, so you can check out the chat box for a feedback link. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Megha, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. That was so great to have you all here. And thank you so much. Bye-bye. If you have any questions, please ping me up over here, or you can just send me a chat or run a chat on LinkedIn or maybe Instagram related to Windows Insider MVP questions. All the best. See you. Bye.
I can see Prince Raz. Yay. Congratulations, Prince. You will be getting the pack of stickers. Sure, Anuj, we will be sharing the timestamp of the submission. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So we can just stop the recording.
Yeah.